Hey everyone. So FOMC meeting minutes came out and the market reacted the way it should react. It kind of freaked out in the beginning. I saw S&P go up, come down. I saw Dow didn't decide or didn't know where to go, which direction to take. Tesla, same thing. Which direction to take, nobody knows. So then after that, when we saw the numbers or when we saw how the Fed presidents are speaking and talking about, okay, the few 50 basis point increase are baked in, or in the next few meetings, we are going to see 50 basis point increase, there was no surprise element. And when there is no surprise element, we see market rally, because market is like, okay, Fed is not coming out with a 100 basis point increase or a 75 basis point increase, and there is no surprise. Fed is not being that hawkish, and market kind of rejoice that and thinks, okay, by the end of this year they will be done with their rate hikes and we can see a rally come into the market. As I told you in my yesterday's video, that inflation is not a key factor right now, and I still believe that. I think growth is a concern, and that proves what we saw from NVIDIA, my goodness, the result. NVIDIA result has been crazy, because what I saw from NVIDIA, I'm gonna go over some of the results. It's mind-blowing. I mean, look, their first quarter, their adjusted EPS 1.36, estimate was 1.30. They beat it there. Revenue was 8.29 billion, 46% increase year over year. Estimate was about 8.1 billion. So there is a beat over there. Data center revenue 3.75 billion, 83% year over year increase, and the estimate was 3.62 billion, a beat over here. Gaming revenue 3.62 billion, 31% year over year. Estimate was 3.53 billion. Huge beat over here. Professional visualization revenue 622 million, a 67% year over year beat. An estimate was 647.9 billion. So of course a miss over there in the whole metaverse, in the whole visualization thing that NVIDIA is so big on. So if you look at these numbers, they were not bad numbers. But what was bad? Why did NVIDIA sink? The revenue, or the second quarter forecast, was they see a revenue 8.10 billion, estimate was 8.44 billion. It's the growth. Everybody is concerned about the growth. Now, these numbers are not set on stone. NVIDIA can come out and they can beat. But the reason why, or what is driving them, is the supply chain issues. Because they see, I was just listening to Cisco's CEO this morning, and he was talking about how they are basically have a backlog of orders. That means they're not being able to fulfill the order because of the supply chain issues. That is the problem what these companies are facing, and that is the problem what they are dealing with, and that's why their estimate is coming down. It's not because they don't have the demand. Yeah, demand will be affected because people don't want to spend money because of they don't know if the consumers are going to buy their products. But if the supply chain issue reduces, and especially for the semiconductor industry, we are going to see the demand come back, because it's all about growth for so many companies. So the news that I'm seeing, or the whole, I would say, sentiment I'm seeing in the stock market, is driven by growth fears. And that's why when a company like NVIDIA, I was really looking forward to their earnings, because that'll tell us a lot about the semiconductor industry. Now my next focus is the call, which is going to start in just a few minutes. I'm going to listen to the call, because call will tell us when do they think that they can reduce the bottleneck of supply chain issues. And if a company like NVIDIA can navigate or can have or give us a direction, then we know where the rest of the tech market, rest of the semiconductor market is going to be in the same timeline. So it's going to be really key for NVIDIA to come out and give us some positive outlook, because from Cisco CEO, he thinks that we are going to see the supply chain issues towards the first half of 2023 or towards the end of 2022. And companies have figured out a way to manufacture the chips of their own, or on their own. Or I'm talking about the chips that they use to make chips. I mean, companies like NVIDIA, Cisco, because they make the products that other company uses. So we are going to see a lot of these companies, they come out and they basically will talk about how they are managing the supply chain crisis, which is going to be key for us investors to pay attention to kind of see where are we at the end of this year. So FOMC meeting did what it's supposed to do. It didn't disappoint, and it didn't turn Fed even more hawkish. NVIDIA, another story. Snowflake, another story. I mean, even though they are beating on the revenues, like for example, NVIDIA, but their Q2 guidance is what's making these companies suffer in these markets. So I just want to come and quickly give you an update. I see, of course, a turnaround, as I mentioned in my previous videos, in the next few weeks. I will be watching for some key indicators. NVIDIA was one of the companies I was watching for, and the second quarter guidance, of course, it's not very exciting to see, but their call will tell us more about it. And if there is something worth sharing in the call, I will absolutely do a video and share with you all. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you're new, then also check out our other videos talking about the inflation, talking about where the production or the growth or the inflation is going to be for the second half of 2022 in my previous videos. As always, thank you so much for joining. Until next time, you all have a sparkling day.